I love the idea of, fully child kind of driving everything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and to like from one aspect, this looks like really amazing and beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
because child is driving and, like they're leading their life, they're discovering it.
Mm-hmm.
But also there is that sense of fear also, because by default, like we all get attracted towards, instant gratification or just indulging in games and, not really learning something. So, uh, so how are the some balancing guardrails around that, right? So I'm just more curious about that.
Mm.
Like, what is like something holding as a guardrail, that is also helping in shaping and not letting them kind of roam around and fully free, but not in a positive way, but in an indulging way, which is not really,
So what would you like,
cause it
Vineet? What would you like, Vineet? We to build those guardrails, or child to discover himself or herself and build his or her own guardrails? Which would you prefer?
I would
Because
prefer
this is
the
gonna
child
be
to
for,
discover.
because yeah,
Yeah.
because the journey is lifelong, right? It isn't about one,
Yes.
two, 5, 10, 15 years. So
Yes, yeah, exactly. So my preference would be, of course, for child to discover,
so that's
but
what we
for
need to work on.
so
So we need to be clear.
and that's my question.
So
And
we
that's
need
my
to,
question that
yeah,
hmm,
yeah. No, no, I'm saying
like,
that's a question for you to explore. What I'm trying to
hmm,
say is that for anything, you are talking about guardrails for whatever, let's say maybe
hmm,
games, you are talking about, I think maybe gadget, but it could be for
yeah.
anything. Yeah. It
Hmm,
could be, let's say, for my emotions. Yeah. Or for my insecurities or whatever, whatever, whatever.
yeah.
The question always is, who should build that? And since it's a lifelong journey, isn't it beautiful that the child should build that? And if I want the child to build that, I, as the, let's say, the parent, I, as a parent, need to think from that window. Too soon, I start thinking from my window, which is I can control, I can make the guardrails, I can ensure things go right. But then I am ensuring it. Now, if I have
Hmm,
to work with the child so that the child creates that, now that's another beautiful journey. In fact, to me, that is the education. What else? Everything else can be learned in no time. If I want to today
hmm,
fly kites, I can learn how to fly kites. If I want to fly rockets, I can learn how to fly rockets. What is the big deal? Right? The big deal is to understand myself and to understand this world and to understand how I relate with myself in the world and how do I create what I want to create. And that's a beautiful journey. We call it also the journey of responsibility. And responsibility
okay.
isn't a one
Hmm,
day thing. I can't just suddenly be responsible, right?
hmm,
It takes a whole, I would say it takes a whole lifetime to explore responsibility. I'm still exploring at this age. I'm 57 and I'm still exploring. I can't say I'm like full on responsible. I would say, yeah, I'm okay, 50-50, right? And but if you realize the whole focus of child-based education is to get the child, not get the child, invite the child, work with the child, understand where is what is happening. Yeah.
hmm,
Before I jump in with my plans, my schemas, my solutions, that's very easy, right?
hmm,
The problem with my schemas and my solutions is half the time they don't work. Right?
yeah.
And even if they work, it's still my schemas, my
Hmm,
thoughts, my ways, my strategies. But my child is different. And
hmm,
when it starts coming from them, it'll come slowly. It's a beautiful, growing. Just like you would get anybody to do masters, let's say in, let's say, physics. How many years? Let's say about 25 years of education, right? At least let's give 25 years to build this kind of solid responsibility inside. Actually, it develops much earlier. When given from early
okay.
life, they are full on, right? Because they start understanding, because they are deciding about everything every single day. That's a lot of decision making
Mm,
to do. What do I eat? How much do I eat? Whom do I sit with? Okay, what time do I sleep? What do I get up? Do I go and do I play this game? Do I don't play this game? Do I whatever. Everything is
mm,
decided, and it's beautiful. And there's obviously a lot of peer learning. By peer, I don't mean same age. I could be learning from a 30-year-old or a 3-year-old. That does the age doesn't matter. Everybody who is with me is my peer, isn't it?
yeah.
Which is why we are all a mixed age group, from whatever the youngest child till, let's say, if you say I'm the oldest, then that's. And when grandparents come in, because we want everybody to come in here, we calling people, so they're all ages here. And then you understand the world from different eyes, right? so
I see.
I'm not giving you an answer to your question. I'm giving you a perspective that, hey, if you want to, not even a perspective, I would say whole paradigm of child-based education is about
Mm,
the child building that, not me doing it for the child.
got it.